This show is powered by BL3P, the Lightning-enabled European Bitcoin exchange.
Connect the world.
Fernando Motolese, Bitcoin Beach Brazil, bitcoinize.com, Brazil.
Air France is the flag carrier airline of France and one of the world's largest airlines. It was formed in 1933 from a merger of 5 French airlines and has since become a prominent player in the global aviation industry. Is Air France the worst airline in the world?
Yes.
If you had to choose, would you choose to never interact with Bitcoin anymore instead of never making music again?
I don't know. No.
Viagem Atypica is the name of a song you wrote for the band Nominalistas.
Yeah.
Viagem Atypica is a Portuguese term that translates to atypical travel in English. It refers to a journey or trip that is out of the ordinary and unconventional in some way. Is this song about your Bitcoin journey?
The beginning, yes.
Last year you were on Bitcoin Amsterdam showing the beautiful Bitcoinized machines you've made. Do we see you this year again?
No.
Do you prefer feijoada over pão de queijo?
What? Feijoada ou pão de queijo? Pão de queijo.
Do you always bring a guitar when traveling?
Yes.
Is this the first time you're doing a podcast interview at an airport?
No.
Do you like to drink caipirinhas?
No.
Bitcoinize was used by the Bitcoin Atlantis conference to make Bitcoin payments possible. Was this the highlight of your career?
Yes.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No.
Welcome to the Connected World Weekly Podcast. I'm Edward.
And I'm Steph. We are ready to take you with us into the beautiful world of the Lightning Network.
Enjoy the ride. This is episode 110 of Connected World. This show is made possible by our friends from BL3P and BRINGIN. Thank you guys for helping us out with our mission to connect the world with Lightning. If you also want to help out, then head over to our Telegram group or go to our website, connecttheworld.live, or subscribe at our YouTube channel. And of course, you can always make a donation.
Соединим этот мир.
Fernando, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, welcome, man.
Welcome
Hello,
to the show.
guys. Welcome to having me here.
Hey, and it's not so.
Of course.
It's so funny because Edward, his origins is Spanish, right? So he is.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the feijoada over pão de queijo? And he is just speaking Spanish to you, right?
Portuguese and Spanish is so different.
Yeah.
And I just, I saw the words and I thought, oh yeah, you were saying it, and I thought, yeah, that's, yeah, I can't
But
do
I
it again.
understood.
So
I understood after.
Yeah. After all, you were really thinking. You were like, oh,
Really?
wait a second.
I work doing voiceovers. My previous work was working with voiceover artists worldwide.
okay.
And then I got his accent, his Spanish accent.
Yeah. So that's
that's why in the end you knew what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Hey, and you're also a musician. It's funny because back in the days I also made music, and there are so many similarities between working with Bitcoin and making music because it is a creative process, and there's so much around the subject, in this case Bitcoin, that is you can it has in many ways a lot of creativity around it. So I really like it that that you're also in the same way connected to Bitcoin. And you said you would choose to never interact with Bitcoin in anymore instead of making music, but it was really doubtful. So I can imagine it's hard to choose, right?
Yeah. The music in my childhood was really important to, teach me about freedom and about, bigger things, right? The artists that I follow, they helped me to shape what I am now. So I tried during my childhood to write songs, to express myself. And now the music that I am writing is totally related with this. The last 10 years, I am writing songs about this journey to get freedom, to fight the system, to opt out, you know. And the song that you mentioned, Viagem
Yeah.
Atípica, is like a song just after when I did my first Bitcoin transaction. I was living in a reserve. It's a kind of forest in the interior of Brazil, in the central east of Brazil, and then I started to understand that there are unlimited resources, right? In your mind, and but you don't know how to access it. You don't need to have it, right? But everything is there, right? And then I start to understand what is important. It's not only money. You need to have a spiritual life, and sometimes you need to think different and make the different decisions to be free. So this song
Yeah.
Yeah.
helped me to
and
understand
and
and talk
because
about.
you're also writing music for other artists, or especially for other
Yes. This
artists. But
band is
Nominalistas.
Nominalistas is a former band that I had with
Yeah.
very famous guys here in Brazil, and this is the most listened music of them
yeah,
in
yeah.
Spotify.
Amazing.
But do the artists also know that there's the song is somehow related to Bitcoin, or
Yes. In 2013, I was telling them, "Oh, go to mine Bitcoin, man. You have 50 computers here in the production company that you have." And then now I am owing, and they are there working every day. I
should have
got
then
the
listened to
freedom
you.
that I was looking for. In that, when I wrote that music in 2013, I got it.
Uh,
Now I am
yeah.
in the paradise, and I connected with the nature and looking for peace and a better future.
Yeah.
Hey, I was thinking for you, it's so normal, of course, but what are caipirinhas?
Caipirinha
What
is
is it?
like a
Steph knows it, of course.
vodka, pinga
Yeah.
with lemon and sugar to make
Ah,
you high
okay.
very fast.
Yeah, it's just a cocktail, but I think Edward can only drink half of a normal glass because he's not used to any types of alcohol. So
Because when
That's
you
right.
put ice, it's very you can drink it, but after 2 or 3, you are totally.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Especially when it's 30 degrees or higher around you,
yeah,
right,
Oh, then
Fernando?
it's good. You feel free,
yeah,
Bitcoin, and then
yeah.
caipirinhas. Awesome.
I am trying. I don't like to drink a lot because I don't like to drink at all because I like to like be conscious and it's like here people come to drink a lot. Here's a
Yeah.
place that everyone is partying every day, but sometimes when you are part of the bigger plan, you need to be very correct You cannot take drugs and other things like that. I am dealing with very poor people that drink every day, and it's a social problem, right? So here in Brazil, there are people drinking pinga, is the main ingredient of this drink, and it's very cheap, and it creates like all kinds of problems. Then it's worse than other dangerous drugs, But for the gringos, it's a very nice experience,
When you're on
so for
holiday,
us, if we're there, as a gringo,
drink a caipirinha. And there are other kinds of caipirinha, not just lemon, but all kinds of fruit. It's a nice drink.
Nice. Hey, Fernando, we have prepared a lot of questions about Bitcoin Beats Brazil, which we really want to ask you, and also some about Bitcoin Heist, the POS you've made. So, but it has to be in the 21 minutes. So, if you are ready, we would really love to enter the 21 minutes, Fernando. Are you ready?
Totally ready.
The 21 minutes is brought to you by BRINGIN, the app to reliably sell and spend Bitcoin from any wallet. Bitcoin Beats Brazil, let's start with that, because the Bitcoin Beats project in El Salvador is a real inspiration, of course, for a lot of other circular economies in the world. And can you walk us through perhaps the inception of the Bitcoin Beats Brazil project and what inspired you to replicate the model from El Salvador and what your initial challenges were?
Right. 7th of September of 2021, I was following the entire narrative of Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador, and I was really interested to know how it was working there, what was the inception there, and then I found Bitcoin Beach, and I started to look into their story, and then I found a very similar place of Jericoacoara. Right, I was living here in the northeast of Brazil, in this village of 3,000 fishermen and a tourist place to do kite surf and everything else. So I decided, in that day, to replicate the Bitcoin Beach experiment in Brazil, following their lessons, right? Not for the rich people, but using Bitcoin as a form of money, as a tool for social transformation. So I went to the beach and saw several kids dealing with drug dealers and things like that. And then Mike said in a podcast, man, if you are in a place like us, you should start your own circular economy. That's the solution for, isolated areas. And then I started by helping the bakery to accepting Bitcoin with my Lightning node. After 6 months doing it, I got like 6 places accepting Bitcoin. It was really difficult because I was the former shitcoiner during my Bitcoinization process. I got a lot of shitcoins, and then I wasn't a maximalist yet. So I did a lot of mistakes in the beginning of the project. And then one day I figured out the circular economy concept. In this, one day Mike said, oh, Bitcoin circular economy. And that tweet gave me an insight to look deep into their activities and figure out how I would do to implement it here. So after 6 months running the experiment here, Mike contacted me and said, look, would you like to understand what you're doing? And then I said, there's a school here, we need to fix the computer lab, and there is a very important thing, we need to get engaged with a social project to make it happen here. The merchants, they don't care about Bitcoin. They are very rich people. So let's work with the kids. Let's get the director trust, and then let's introduce the Bitcoin Day School. So I did it. And then 2 or 3 months later, I created the paper wallet. the T-shirts, the piggy banks, and some months later, the bolt card. So I started to create tools to enable those kids to use Bitcoin on a daily basis. And then I started to collaborate with Bitcoin Beach. We got a lot of donations, and it was the start of the project.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the project has been described as a way to bank the unbanked and return power to individuals. Well, I can imagine that those kids were really unbanked, and maybe a lot of adults living in the town also. But can you share some tangible impacts the project had on the local community in the town?
So with this first donation that we got of 10 million sats at the price, I don't know the price, but 10 million sats I spent to create a kind of paper wallet to teach the kids how the real Bitcoin works, right? So because of that, we got the prize of the Blockchain for Humanity as one of the name of the prize was how do I say a Dreamer Award, because in 1 week I printed 400 paper wallets, and they with mnemonic phrases, and then I gave 1,000 sats for the kids in a real Bitcoin wallet, wallet. And then after 2 months, with the problem of Bitcoin big bank bailout, we started to sell Bitcoin for the kids in exchange for the coins they collected in the piggy bank that we gave to them. So I have now here 40 kids holding $300, $200, because during 1 year we went to the school during the entire bear market, teaching them how to use Bitcoin and buy it without need a bank, right? So the tools that we created here, not only are using Lightning, but we are teaching the real concept of have the words, have the keys, be your own bank. So it was we returned the power of the individuals, also the merchants, by giving them the responsibility to withdraw the funds from our nodes to their hands, right?
Cool.
Yeah, you really make it tangible then. Yeah.
Hey, what was the age of the kids, Fernando?
We have kids from 8 to 15.
Okay.
And the main kids that the kids that are more engaged are from 9 to 12.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. So that's really an age that that the kids are really able to understand it.
Not all. Like I always try to explain that there are 400
of
kids.
Course.
Like 300 lost the paper wallet. 100 are holding it, and like 40 bought some Bitcoin, and 10 are holding more than $300.
But maybe that's what it takes, right? You hope that it sticks on the few that counts, and they can tell it to others. So that will help. Hey, and you also hosted Bitcoin Banana Day, right?
Yes, after creating that tool to enable the kids use the real Bitcoin, the Brazilian community start to blame it. Say, look, this is dust. They will never be able to withdraw that. They are crazy. There's lightning. But the bolt card was created in that month, right? In that month. And with 400 kids without mobile phones, it was impossible to make them to transact, right? So I started to think, and it was how the Bitcoinized machine was created. To enable the kids transact every day, I thought, we need a machine. As Visa, we need a machine. And then we need to give cards to the kids. And then I started to talk with factories on China And in 4th of November of 2022, I implemented the bolt card here in the local server and gave to 400 kids, cards for all kids. And I started to buy fruit to sell for the kids for 10 cents, for 1 cent at that time. And then the first kid to buy a fruit was this kid that chose to buy 1 banana for 10 cents, and then it got like 600,000 views on Twitter, that transaction.
Cool.
So it was
That's
known
really
as
funny.
the
Cool.
Bitcoin Banana Day.
And talking about education, because that seems to be a cornerstone of the project. What specific educational programs have you developed, and how do you tailor these initiatives to meet the needs of different community members, especially children, and even more important, maybe children of different ages? Because I can imagine that a child of 8 has needs for such a different kind of program than someone of aged up to 15, for instance.
We try to make a personal thing, like it's not like everywhere they are doing meetups and classes. We tried the traditional method, but here it's very difficult to get 2 minutes of attention of everyone. It's very, very difficult. So we started to teach them by practice, right? So they have the paper wallets, the cards. We give them rewards for what they do in the school. So I try to teach them in a practical way, right? So we have the word record. That is another thing that we are doing here. Every year we try to beat our last record. So it's like, and then they understand the price, how Bitcoin works, what is Lightning, and then they are using it really without understand. But there are 10 kids that they already are playing games, saving Bitcoin. And there's another 100 running in the city with their cards and say, look, let's accept Bitcoin. So here is, I am trying to introduce my first Bitcoin classes. But man, find teachers, find people. So this is why I rented a hotel, because I need to attract Bitcoiners able to teach very simple people why we need to transform this place in a Bitcoin city, because
that's also what I heard, that the most important thing with my first Bitcoin is, of course, to find teachers that teach others. But it is more important that local people do that. So local people should become teachers, because that is more effective than strangers that come in and trying to teach others.
But my first Bitcoin, it's wonderful, it's great, but for the Brazilian people, it's like we need draw. We need to step back. It's like I was trying to give classes to normal, ordinary people with degrees, and they wasn't able to understand the nature of money. The first chapter, they see, they listen, but they cannot understand, because our culture is a culture of party, right? And so they like, I am here in Jericoacoara, I look as an alien, right? I try to say, look, Bitcoin like the Noah, trying to, no, Bitcoin, anyone cares. So the kids are the solution to the future. So I give up of the merchants, and now I'm totally focused on the
Yeah,
but
cool.
speaking of the merchants, Fernando, because you created also the Bitcoinized machine, That's a point of sale solution, which is, of course, very important tool also in teaching. But the most important is facilitating Bitcoin transactions within a community. How did you came up with it? And why did you call it the Bitcoinized machine? But I think I can understand. And how do merchants integrate it with their own existing systems?
The machine is a symbol, right? When you have a Bitcoin enabled device to receive the payment, we solve a merchant problem, right? Because the merchant, the owner of the place is not always there. Using QR codes, you have a lot of problems because the amounts and the things that when you pay, they may receive a different amount. So I started to look at this problem here in Jericoacoara, and then because of the kids, I had the opportunity to build the device, to change it, because it's just an Android device with an FC printer, with an FC capabilities and a thermal printer. And then I started to adapt it for the Bitcoin use case, right? And then it makes easier to the merchant to start his journey into the habit hole, right? So there you have several wallets. You can choose the best wallet for you, or you can run a BTC Pay server or have a Lightning service provider that will set up the machine for you. And so I think I answered the question, right?
Yeah. We saw it in action, right, Steph?
Yeah, we saw it in action in Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
It was
the Bitcoinized machine. So the name, because when
the name.
I send the machines for all kinds of communities, and as a symbol of the peaceful revolution, like the effect of that machine in the school was amazing. We have kids using Bitcoin on a daily basis. They are watching the price volatility, because today's 10 sats, today's is 5 sats, and some days ago was 7. So they start to, 4 fruits are 25. They start to understand the Satoshi, And I think that this is the first lesson that anyone that wants to use Bitcoin needs to learn. And then the machine helps you to understand the first lesson. Okay, cool. Just an Android device. There's a few apps here.
Yeah, it's technical.
Connect it in the internet and then choose your wallet and you're ready to go. So that's...
Okay. And talking about that, can you talk us through the initial setup process for a new Bitcoinized machine? So I'm a merchant in town and I want to accept Bitcoin. What's my initial setup process, and how do merchants, for instance, integrate it with their existing systems?
Okay. First, you need to choose the wallet that you want to use. I think in the future, we are going to build an onboarding app to help them to choose what wallet is more suitable for them.
Yeah.
But now, only Bitcoiners are buying it, right? Because we don't sell it in other form, just in Bitcoin. So our main customers now are Lightning service providers. So people that are running BTC Pay server, and then they buy the machines to enable their circular economies, to have real working networks for Bitcoin payments. So you get the machine, you set up in your city, then you are able to collect all Bitcoin of the entire city. Right? So I started in the beginning to buy the Bitcoin from the merchants. Now they want to hold it. But at the beginning, it was a tool to help me pay using Bitcoin and then buy it back, with discount, of course.
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to say
of course.
So there's an important thing happening here, like the supermarket. They don't want to keep the Bitcoin. So I give them the money in advance, and they give me 10% of discount in all Bitcoin that I get in the supermarket, right? So it's crazy. I give them 1,000, then I receive 1,100 back in Bitcoin, and then every time I make it circulate in the economy, and I am always buying, always selling, and when I can hold it, I know for the long term is the best way to acquire Bitcoin as a community founder to buy the Bitcoin back from your own community.
Yeah. Hey, and Fernando, you also mentioned a partnership, I guess, with a Chinese manufacturer to produce a significant number of the machines monthly. Can you talk about how this partnership went, and how are you scaling up? If it's if you really need more to enhance the adoption.
It was the destiny. I don't know, but I started to contact all kinds of factories on China, and then I did several requirements like access to the open source code, hardware drivers, OS customizations, branding, and all kinds of things that to build the product. And then after talk with more than 50 factories, I found that one that agreed to make the changes that I requested. So first, we did a crowdfunding campaign to buy 500 machines from them to build the product. So before to buy the first 500, we did 100 to El Salvador and 40 to Brazil. And Breeze donated the first 10 machines. Boy from Breeze donated from the first 10 machines. And then I started to negotiate an agreement with the factory to guarantee all kinds of in the contract we have this agreement that they will not spy on our customers. So it was really difficult to make this agreement with all kinds of structures and at the point we cannot guarantee 100% yet that they are not spying our customers, because the drivers, the things, they are closed. And then we are trying to build the next version that we have more openness of the entire system. And I think the Android 13 version will be better, and then they can produce 50,000 machines per month.
That's crazy.
That's really a lot.
How many do you order now then?
But we are selling 100 machines per month now.
Per month.
I sold already 800 machines at least.
Cool. And I hear the TikTok, so that means that our time is almost over. But I wanted to ask you something, because the Bitcoinized machine includes NFC capabilities and a thermal printer. Well, you're talking already about a new version of a new machine. Can you elaborate on these features, but also features you're planning into the near future to make the experience even more better for the merchant, but as well as the customer?
We have several improvements in the Android 13 version. With the Bluetooth LE that will allow print receive automatically. The Android 13 is better. The battery life we could earn it like 25%, and they are the same. The printer was changed to use the Bluetooth LE driver. It was requested from Galloy, and then we have, like, how do I say that? We are working in a new update software to make easier for the customer to update all apps without logging in the Google Store. So, but it's minor improvements, but they will make the life of the merchant easier.
Cool. Well, we are really looking forward to to see it. And
See it in action again.
We hope to test it in Amsterdam, but we will meet you at a different place then.
It's very easy, you know. Like the machine costs, if you buy like 20, you pay 150, and then you can run the BTC Pay server for the next Amsterdam conference. Run the payments, buy all Bitcoin with no QIC, man.
Awesome, Fernando. Hey, and we're also going to follow the Bitcoin Beats Brazil project because I think it's interesting to see how the adoption there is growing in the near future. So thanks again.
Well, thank you.
Connect the world.
Yeah, we have one question left for you, Fernando. But the cool thing is you may choose yourself because we prepared 3. But you may only choose one. That's the downside of it. But we prepared one from Michael Fischer. He's from Opago. From Kemal Yazar. He's from Galloy. Or from Patrick van der Meijden. He's from Arnhem Bitcoin City, organizing the Adopting Bitcoin Arnhem in a couple of weeks.
Patrick.
Yeah, go with Patrick.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Patrick.
I'm Patrick van der Meijden of Arnhem Bitcoin City. And my question to you is, which Bitcoin circular economies have you visited?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I just visited the circular economy of Bitcoin Beach in El Zonte, and there are few different aspects of what's going there and what is going here in Jericoacoara, because here we are really Bitcoinizing people in a different way, like the technical aspects, the nodes, the things, the keywords, the tools, the hardware wallets, and there they have this easy way because there is legal tender, and then I started to help them to improve the Bitcoin Beach, and now they are our main supporters because the tools that we created here, because their support now are back in there, and we are making it circular. So I love the work of people of Bitcoin Beach, and I always mention that you need to read the Bitcoin Beach white paper if you want to create a circular economy. But the main thing is, when you create a circular economy, you need to collaborate with other circular economies, because this is the only way to accelerate and have people interacting and doing what you are doing and facing the challenge that we are facing too.
Yeah,
cool.
That's true. Yeah.
Connect the world.
Yeah, cool. Well, Fernando,
thanks again,
thanks
Fernando.
for your time and for the great story you have. And Edward already said it, but we will follow it on foot. And we are really pleased to have you on the show, and looking forward to all the developings you're making in your community and with the terminal. So where can people follow you? Can you maybe share the websites or I heard you also are on Kaiser, is that correct?
Yes, I have my Twitter of Bitcoin Beach BR, and Motolese Oficial is my personal Twitter. And then we have the website to buy the machine, bitcoinize.com. And that's it. I don't like actually to post a lot, you know. I'm good with computers, code, doing financial things, and music as well. But the social network, I need a volunteer to come here, help us, and maybe do it for me, because here is like I do a lot of things, you know, so the social network is not my
doesn't matter. Thanks again, Fernando, and everybody else. Thanks for listening, and thanks to all members participating in Satoshi Radio Rings of Fire, and of course, thanks to everyone helping to connect the world with us. So if you like our content, then please support us in our mission. Head to our website, connecttheworld.live, where you can also donate and like, subscribe, and share our content on your favorite platform. We need you to complete our mission, connect the world, so keep those nodes running, sats flowing, and rings burning, and see you all next week on the same Lightning channel. Aloha, Fernando.
Bye, Fernando.
Bye.
See ya.